Chinese lithium battery manufacturers are ramping up production to cash in on fast-growing overseas demand. Shenzhen Topway New Energy, based in China's southern tech hub, say they're increasing the number of workers to keep up with the swelling demand.
We saw a 30 to 40% growth from a year ago in the first half of the year. Our best-selling products are high-power batteries that have a storage capacity of 20, 15, or 10 kilowatt-hours and come equipped with inverters to provide AC output. Orders for this type of batteries have been rising rapidly over the past few months.
Another Shenzhen-based battery maker is also bullish on the future. They've invested millions of yuan into building a new plant with automated production lines. The general manager says based on existing clients' satisfaction, he's optimistic the investment will pay off.
The automation equipment costs roughly $400,000. Orders have been surging in 2023. Some clients who intend to place large orders would like to tour our factory first, so we have made up our mind to further expand.
Welcome back to another video. What we're going to be talking about is the Chinese market in terms of lithium. I saw this story on Twitter and I thought, why not go ahead and talk about it? Because it's something that I didn't really know. And I just think it's quite interesting. So to start off with, as you can see on this Twitter post right here, this person went ahead and said, China is overproducing lithium to eliminate rivals. China is flooding the global market with lithium, driving down prices by 80% in the past year to wipe out competition, says US Undersecretary Jose Fernandez. The regime now controls 2/3 of the world's battery-grade lithium production, engaging in predatory pricing. Western nations and Asian countries are fighting back with tariffs, but China's overproduction is creating ripple effects across industries, threatening global competitors and its own struggling economy. And as you can see in the photo, they are hard at work. So essentially, China's flooding the market and the US isn't too happy about it. And the only way they can go ahead and combat this is to try and put tariffs on China. And I believe some of the European countries are trying to do that. So you might be wondering, what is lithium? Why do we care about it? And where do you find it? So lithium is something that is mined, but not only is it mined, it acts as a battery and it's in your iPhones and stuff like that. So if we have a look at the devices where you can find lithium, you can see Bluetooth headsets and headphones, cell phones, computer peripherals, digital cameras, e-readers, game controllers, laptops. So basically anything with a battery that can be recharged usually has lithium. Sometimes it doesn't have lithium and it has something else. But for example, if you have an iPhone that has a lithium battery, it's able to store a lot of charge and you can use it for a long period of time. And one of the benefits with lithium is that it lasts a long time. That's why your iPhone is able to have a few hours of battery. However, the disadvantages to lithium is that if you leave it at completely 0% for ages, it can start to wear out the battery. So lithium is good, it lasts a few hours, but what you do need to do is keep it cycled and charged up. So when I was reading these news posts, I was interested in it because if you have a look at one of the stock prices here, it had a massive boom in 2022. And this is China's biggest lithium exporter. And as you can see now, it's not trading that high, but it had a massive boom in 2022. And I was trying to figure out why it had a massive boom and why it is having a sharp decline. And it led me to this article here, an Australian article, which is where I'm actually from, Australia. And what it was talking about is it says lithium prices have crashed this year, squeezing margins at Australian miners. So Australian miners are also mining lithium and exporting it. But because of this whole China business where they're overproducing lithium, and obviously they want to eliminate rivals in other countries like Australia, US, and obviously all the Europeans, it's causing squeezing margins and prices to go down. So if we have a look in this article, one of the reasons why the price crash is happening is because new supplies were coming online from mines in China, Africa, and South America, and the slowing of EV sales. As you can see, it says we are seeing growth of 32% in North America this year, 7% in Europe, and that's basically what the S&P Global Mobility Director said. And it says this is a slowing of growth versus the rapid growth for an electric vehicle demand that we've had in the past couple of years. So as the EV hype kind of dies down a bit, so is the need of people wanting EVs. And of course, with an electric vehicle, it has a ton of lithium batteries. And because of this, and no one wants an EV as much as before, it's just causing the price to go down. And as you can see, a bit of damage control is happening. It says the cascading impact of slowing slowing EV growth on lower battery manufacturing output has seen lithium stockpiles build up and prices scrape close to the cost of production for Australian lithium mining companies. I'm starving the product going to the market. I don't want to oversupply the market. I don't care. I don't want to waste my ore. So as you can see, it's just not good that China's more or less overproducing it. But at the end of the day, that is something that they can do. And this is what happens in the market when China goes ahead and decides to overproduce stuff. You see it within pretty much all products, and that's why there's a lot of tariffs and stuff that get imposed on them. So what I found interesting was this article here, which is what the person on Twitter was going off. And it was talking about how the European Union went ahead and raised tariffs, and basically was also talking about Western countries like the USA putting up barriers against the CCP to stop the overproducing. And if you have a look here on this US article, because I was looking at what type of tariffs and stuff they're talking about, you can see here that this person here said more creative approaches may be necessary to mitigate the impacts of China's overcapacity. We should be clear. Defense against overcapacity or dumping is not protectionist or anti-trade. It is an attempt to safeguard firms and workers from distortions in another economy. These conditions would not appear in a normal market economy. What we're seeing is a fundamental distortion driven by governmental policy. So as you can see, they're trying to say that the Chinese governmental policy is causing this overproduction of supply of lithium. I mean, I don't know what to think. What do you guys think about all of this? At the end of the day, can China do what they want? Can any country do what they want? Can they overproduce? I think they're allowed to produce what they want, but if it's causing markets in other countries to suffer and not make as much money, but there's also the argument that if they're overproducing it, why can't the other countries do it? So, there's kind of like two sides to everything. And I was having a look at this article here as to the lithium batteries getting cheaper. So when I was looking at the stock price, as you can see, it's going down. And as I explained as to why that was before, you can have a look here that they are just getting cheaper and cheaper. And countries like Australia and USA cannot keep up with the overproduction because look how cheap it is. It is just getting cheaper year by year. 2022 is when we saw the big EV boom, and as you can see, it's just slowly getting cheaper and cheaper, and that's the thing that China does. It causes a lot of competition and the prices get cheaper. So in a way, them overproducing it could be a good thing because we're getting things much cheaper than what we were getting them before. And obviously as technology increases, so does the need for production with new gadgets and etc. So as you can see, year to date, it has fallen 73% since 2014. Since 2014, as you can see, in 2014, it was worth $290. Now it's dropped all the way to $78, which is really crazy. And if you just have a look, it just shows how over the years, China's production can just basically squeeze a market. And if we have a look here, this is the price of a sell price average per kilowatt hour. And once again, as you see, it has dropped. Basically is the same thing as this, just showing it to you in a different form. But I don't know, it's just crazy when you think about it. And one of the other things I wanted to have a look at was these stocks, which what I was showing you. As you can see, the largest Chinese lithium mining stock is SQM, and it has 5 business areas ranging from lithium to potassium to specialty plant nutrition. Its primary lithium operations are in Chile, where it is a long-time producer, and it is working to bring production online in Australia as well. But as we saw, Australia aren't too happy about it because they feel like it is distorting the economy with what China is doing here, just creating an overproduction of this. But as you can see, I don't know if the prices of lithium will ever be anything similar as to where they once were in 2022, because that's, when we had the massive boom. But as you can see, it's still taking a little bit of a time to get around. And, where do I see this heading? I probably don't see this ever hitting anything above here unless people are going to be getting into EVs more, which I don't really see happening unless it becomes way cheaper. But until then, it looks like China is going to keep producing lithium. And of course, that's just what they do. They just put up tons of factories, get tons of people working, and it's just something they'll always do. So let me know in the comments section. What do you think about all this? Do you think China should be allowed to produce as much stuff as they want? and go ahead and basically eliminate their rivals like Western countries? Or should everyone in different countries be given a fair go where the market is open? It is a free market, and that's why China is going ahead and doing what they're doing. Or should it be more free where, other countries can do what they want with lithium? Or do you think the production should be halted with China's overproduction of these lithiums? So let me know in the comment section. I'll be glad to know what you guys think, and thank you for watching.